Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. I know it's been a long time since I have been on this channel. It has been crazy. That's been happening here in my life. A lot of ups and downs. But today I want to talk to you about my first impressions of Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. As a long-time Pokémon fan who has, for the most part, tried to stay spoiler-free from this particular entry, I have very interesting mixed emotions for my first impressions. So there's always this question of how to start something like this, which is, maybe we'll talk about the good first. So, for starters, it's always fun to have a new generation, and I'm always so excited to enter a new generation and see new stories, a new region, the Paldea region. You know, it's wonderful in terms of its size and scope and sort of a little bit of the lore and things with it. It's very, very interesting. And, you know, of course, obviously with new regions there's new Pokemon. So I'm always excited to see the new Pokemon, you know, and learn about different types and different moves and updates to mechanics and so on. This type of stuff I always look forward to and trying to experience it. And I have to say, you know, the game is fun. I'm currently, you know, several gyms in. I've beaten some Titans. I've, you know, cleared out one of the star base, or the team star camps. You know, it's been a lot of fun, I have to say, and I've really enjoyed it. That's what's to start off with, is I'm enjoying my time. I really am. It's very important. I'm enjoying my time. And, you know, they have mixed so well aspects of Legends Arceus and then things that were introduced, you know, in Sword and Shield and the DLC, right? They've added all this into this wonderful region, and, you know, being able to explore and go wherever you want, like in Legends Arceus, is very, very fun in a main series Pokemon game. It actually is bringing me very close to where, you know, what I imagined when I was a kid, you know, in grade 1 playing Pokemon. And so this is sort of what I've wanted. And I have to commend Game Freak and the Pokemon company for the things that they've added into this game. You know, this is not just the, you know, gym badge beat the league. I mean, there are other things to do, like fighting Titans, these massive Pokemon. It's absolutely amazing, and I really, really like that. And then being able to, you know, take on and clear bases, like for Team Star. These are very fun. You know, they're kind of remind me a little bit of, you know, like in Far Cry and stuff, right? You know, getting rid of these forts and fortresses of your enemies. And I have to say, it's really fun, and it's unique, and it's different, and it doesn't make it that linear. Now, having said that, although you do have the option to go wherever you want and take gyms in any order, there does appear to be a slight suggestion on how you should do things, because as you go into different regions of Paldea, you're going to, or different areas, you're going to encounter Pokemon that are way above your level, or gym leaders that are totally out of your league and going to steamroll you. So there seems to definitely be a way in which you're supposed to progress. You know, my wife found out the hard way by going into an area where she shouldn't have been, and she was just decimated. So, but what I like is that the choice to do so, and to go through and explore an area, collecting collectibles, picking things up along the way, maybe catch a Pokemon or two if you're lucky, but you can come back to that region when you're leveled up and actually do it properly and enjoy that time. It's like, sort of like, you know, in Fallout and things, where you get into an area where you shouldn't be and you get wrecked. It happens here, and I like that. It gives you a sense of accomplishment as a player when you're progressing through the game. So I like that idea. I like all the Pokemon so far. I like a lot of the gym leader battle graphics, and like when they're getting ready and they do their move and they're throwing the Pokeballs and things. That's very fun. Terrestrialization, a new gimmick for this generation. You could take it or leave it. For me, I mean, it's at this point, there's always these gimmicks now, and at this point, it's like, okay, terrestrialization. Why didn't they just call it crystallization? Because that's what you turn into, like a crystal type thing. But whatever. I like the concept behind it though, and I remember years ago watching somebody on YouTube, I forget the name, talking about giving third types to Pokemon. Well, this is what happens, right? There's an opportunity, if you terrestrialize, to have a third type being added to your Pokemon, and that's very fascinating. It gives you a whole bunch of different new mechanics and things to work around with these Pokemon and add an extra layer of depth, possibly, to the game. So I definitely am enjoying that aspect. In terms of challenge and difficulty, I have to say, I mean, yes, you have an XP share, and everybody experiences that of the Pokemon. I don't know if you can turn it off or not. You might be able to turn it off. I haven't done it yet or tried, but the very fact that even though everybody's getting this experience in my party, I'm still finding it challenging at times. Where I was in the second gym, the water gym for me, and I was level 29 for most of my team, and I went in there and got actually steamrolled. It was fascinating to me. So I liked that, and I had to go back, and the second time I whooped the ass because I made a few errors and mistakes, but they were costly. Where in other games, slight mistakes wouldn't have mattered, right? Like, think of X and Y. You make a slight mistake, whoopty shit, you're still going to steamroll the gym, but not here. So at least for me at this point, I like the challenge. I like that it's not 100% super easy. The leveling, the scaling up seems to be good and all that stuff. So I'm happy about that. So where am I not happy? And why did the title of this video, why did I title it as such? It's to do with this. The graphics, the bugs that are happening, frame rate drops, are annoying. They shouldn't be happening. When you had the Let's Go series and Sword and Shield, there were some issues here and there. Fine. You go, this is a new hardware, new system, maybe there's some problems here. But after you release Legends Arceus and then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which had many bugs and glitches, and the community, rightly so, brought it to the attention to Game Freak and others on YouTube and other platforms. They know this was not fun, and that people were very upset, and there was broken mechanics and duplication of items and a whole bunch of stuff that was happening. That level of bustedness and graphical glitches and things, you would have thought then, after the last game, that they would have fixed that and made sure that this was a smooth game. It does not. It runs, I don't know what it's doing, but it's not running very well on the Switch. Like, it actually has graphical parts where you're clipping into the terrain, or at one point I remember I was fighting a basculin in the river, and my Pokemon just slid down the thing and sank until I couldn't see it no more. It literally fell right through into the abyss in the river, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to my Pokemon? Or there's tons of clipping, tons of frame rate drop. Every time I go to the Pokemon Center, in the background, if there's people walking or something like that, when your Pokemon are healing, they're moving at a snail's pace. It is 100% noticeable. There's pop-in. Anything that's at a distance is moving very glitchy, like it looks like it's from Roller Coaster Tycoon that came out, where it's all glitched up and that people were looking weird and animations weird. I couldn't believe that this was what they released. I was in the desert fighting the the Earthquake Titan or whatever, and this little sandstorms, right? The frame rate drop was crazy, and the edging, like the sandstorm was actually It could be part of an effect that they use to, so you could maybe have trouble seeing your Pokemon. If that's the case, well, so be it. But anyways, I found that the pixel of my Pokemon was getting fuzzy and weird, and I don't know what was going on. I don't like that. You know, seeing all these graphical glitches and weird things happening, or when Pokemon, too many are on the screen, it like glitches and it's like the frame rate drops. It's just this type of stuff at this point in the life cycle of the Switch should not be happening. And at this point in time, Game Freak should be ashamed of themselves. You know, there have been so many complaints from your fans, long-term fans like myself, who have said, you know, it's great to expand and add new things into Pokemon, and we're all for that. I'm happy they did it. At the same time, though, execute it well. Make sure the damn thing can run well on the machine, because it's noticeable. I'm tired. Like any other series, if this happened, we would be poo-pooing it and saying how dare they and give it awful reviews. It wouldn't be acceptable. But this is a company that makes lots of money. They have the ability to do so. I don't know why they're not. I don't know if this was rushed or they just... I don't know what's going on at Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. I don't know if it's Nintendo, Game Freak, or Pokemon Company. I don't know who's... It could be all three. Somebody is clearly falling behind here, and that's a problem. And the game is suffering because of it. And I know they'll patch it out and all that stuff, but that, you know, that's another video for another time. But putting in patches and releasing games that are half broken or graphically having issues and things, and then patching it is not the answer. They should be day one working and looking pretty good, right? None of this crap about, oh, we're going to release a half-baked game and then, you know, patch it later. No, I mean, here in Canada, you know, I paid $90 for this game, right? I'm expecting quality. Now, having said that and all this crap, I am having fun. It is still fun. I can look past that. But it does not give them an excuse. And so we'll see how it goes and how badly these glitches continue as I progress through the game. Because I remember in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, there was a little bit of issues in the beginning. I didn't have as many issues as other people did in the beginning of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But then in the late game, it was a lot of weird shit was happening. So I'm hoping that's not the case here, because I'm seeing a lot of crap up front that's concerning. And I'm not happy. A lot of good stuff, but a lot of equally bad stuff. So at this point in time, if you are a Pokemon fan, I do think you have to acknowledge there are some issues. But at the same time, as you know, some of those more harsher critics are out there, it still is fun. So I'm still enjoying myself. It's still celebratory. You know, here in my family, we're taking the weekend to do this and just enjoy it. And I'm still having fun. Like, there's some cool experiences being had here. So I would say so far, I'm saying definitely people should be playing it. But we should not be giving a pass to Game Freak just because we are still having fun with the game. They need to fix up this practice, and I hope enough people, that seems to be gaining traction online and different outlets and so on, that I'm thinking they're going to get the message. I'm hoping. If not, then I don't know, maybe we just stop buying these crappy, poorly made games that run on these machines that are not graphically ready and are not performing where they should be. Just because your concept's good and it's a well-known franchise does not mean that it's a golden ticket. And I think that's the problem. So with that, guys, are you playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? And if so, what are your thoughts? Are you enjoying the game? Let me know down in the comments below. So with that, guys, I'll leave you to it and get out there and become a great Pokemon master. Bye-bye for now.